Welcome to the Second Win Boxing Media. I'm your host, Rashid Hammond, and alongside...
It's your boy, Caesar Fantastic. And today we about to talk about Devin Haney and George Kambosos. Their fight has reportedly been, close to being signed or whatever. Devin says that he hasn't seen a contract or signed or agreed to anything. But there are reports out saying that it's close to being done. We all seen that Devin has been exhausting every option that he can to get out of this fight, but to no avail. You know what I mean? And it's looking like this might be the only option. Want to know, is it going to happen in your opinion?
I hope not. I hope absolutely not, Sean. I am not interested in that fight at all, in no form or fashion. The way Devin Haney put on the performance against Kambosos, is no need for any rematch of any sort. Those fights are not worthy of rematches when you blow out a person 11 rounds to 1. I didn't see
one.
A close one, exactly. One, I think Devin chose to take a break. That's the only round he was able to take one, and he took one. But I definitely do not want to see Devin Haney versus Kambosos ever again. I saw fights that was way much closer than that, or actually some fights, where rematches didn't happen. So, nah, man, that's done. Kambosos needs to move on, prove himself again, and if he can go out there and beat other worthy opponents, go ahead and fight Tank. You know what I'm saying? This be a great fight for Tank. If the fight amongst him and Garcia doesn't work, fight Tank. Let's put him on.
Get that man killed,
get
man.
Him out the business, man. Let him go. Move on with something else.
Hey, man, let him be wild to come back.
Nah, man. He talked all that trash the entire time and just got swept. You know what I'm saying? That was a blowout, man, in boxing. If there's a such thing, that was a blowout,
Yeah,
man.
I'm with you. I ain't really interested in it, but at the same time, it's like Devin don't have no options out there. Everybody getting busy.
Right.
Everybody suddenly getting busy when Devin asking for a fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy to me because I think anybody else would be better than Kambosos. You know what I'm saying? But he don't have no options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to ask, you think he at risk of the robbery happening this time?
Nah. The strategy that he had the last time, I think he'll duplicate it, and it would definitely go down as another blowout. You know what I'm saying? Devin did for the perfect game plan where he couldn't be robbed. It's no way possible that you could have robbed him during this time in the social media era. Back in the days when we watched robberies, we even had to videotape it, and it just would be amongst us to see and be upset about. This day and time, you get robbed if especially like, for example, the Pernell Whitaker versus Chavez fight. We would all witness that, you know what I'm saying? But we had to watch it on our VHS tape and only watch it amongst our friends. If that was the case today, with a brutal robbery. Now, let me take that back. There was a very rough robbery amongst one of our own, the Fox brother, Michael Fox. He got robbed severely for that fight. But, I don't think that was a world. Yeah, and I think it was in potential of a world title fight, if I'm not mistaken. But but I don't see that happening to Devin getting robbed in the rematch. No way possible. And Kambosos, man, I understand that you lost fair and square. You got blown away. It's over. Devin Haney, it's time to move on and try to find some worthy opponents. Defend the title about 2-3 times at 135 if you're having weight problems, because everybody's going up to 40 eventually. So
Yeah, I think he just gonna
until
go.
then, defend the title to prove, 1 time or 2 times, and then going up to 140.
Yeah. So another thing, you think he at? Do you think that Devin is at risk of getting ostracized to just like the Winky status, like the Andre status, the nobody wants to fight him status? Because if you look at it, at this point, nobody wants to fight him. He went out, he got all the belts, and now all of a sudden, everybody's saying the belts don't matter.
Yeah, I
Belts
heard
don't
that.
matter.
I heard his
So
father talking about that today. About they trying to discredit the belts.
yeah,
That's more, and Floyd's my man, you know what I'm saying? I respect him to the utmost. Floyd has always stated that he didn't want the sanction fee situation be victimized by. According to Devin's father, he was saying that the networks cover the build in terms of the undisputed championships. According to
yeah, he said you have to negotiate.
according to Dante Wilder, he was complaining about paying the sanction fees with the WBC title. I think he spent couple of $48,000 or something of that nature.
Fees get crazy.
Please don't take my actual number correct, but it was a brief moment I heard that. The sanctioning bodies definitely can, if not negotiated properly in the contracts with your promoter and the networks, you can fall victim of being in a debt to those belts in terms of paying the amount of monies out to the sanctioning bodies. Now, if you have a great manager who can negotiate where, you know what I'm saying, similar to a record deal where it's recoupable, like where you have to maybe pay back, or you say, listen, I'm gonna come with your network, but you are responsible for all my sanctioning fees. And I know Devin's father is a very shrewd businessman who took care of that situation, man. And from what I heard, he said he had negotiated with the networks to make sure that those sanctioning bodies was paid. So yeah, I think Devin will get fights. Of course, the big fighters, the ones that we are saying that may not fight him, he still be able to have a worthy opponent because he's still very relevant in the social media presence. We're talking about him right now to let you know how it's hard to blackball such a star as himself, because to go over there to Australia was, in my opinion, was a Hall of Fame level performance. To go over there where you can possibly be robbed of the fight, possibly ruin your unblemished record, which can happen, but it didn't happen. And it's other hungry fighters out there that want those belts. The big boys may be afraid of Devin himself personally, which I don't think that's the case, especially with Tank and them. I don't think that's the issue. Floyd has a formula, and his formula is not only created from Floyd's own philosophies. The formula has been created from Al Heyman and philosophies of his business style. So Floyd may not see Devin as being a big fight right now for Tank. I do, but like we talked about, I think Tank and Garcia would be a bigger fight because of their amount of fan base. Casual fan base is bigger than Devin and a lot of those other fights. But if Devin will not be, it's hard to blackball him because it's so many other hungry fighters that's looking for fights. And Devin can still sell the networks and still look good on those networks with those opponents and force the fans to force the fighters to fight him. What you
Yeah,
feel,
but
Sean?
you know, Winky, my favorite fighter. I
Right,
watched
right.
him do that to him for years.
Yeah.
When I mean, he was sharp. You know what I'm saying? Sharp, could box, do everything, but he didn't have that one quality that you need. You know what I'm saying? Same with Andre. Andre, he got a little bit more to an extent, but they're still saying the same things they said about Winky, about Andre, the same things they're saying about Devin right now.
Okay.
He's boring. That's what they're saying, right? That's the narrative as far as the mainstream. You know what I mean? Real hardcore boxing fans can appreciate what Devin does, but hardcore casuals and the mainstream, they can't appreciate that style. They still was talking about Floyd was boring, but Floyd had one quality that I think you need, and I think it's three qualities that goes into selling fighters. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Either a vicious punch, knockout power, a crazy like style, like hand speed, counter punching, just you know what I'm saying, just something crazy, like just the style of fighter is unseen, like how Roy, you know what I mean, you know how
Yeah.
freaky Roy was punching wise, right, and with his boxing ability, and the gift of gab. When you look at all the top fighters, they all had one of those three things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I look at Devin, I really don't see none. I see a boxing style like Winky, just methodical, but something that the mainstream can't get into.
His style is not as defensive as Winky's. As Winky will go into a shell and make sure you don't hit him at all, and then he'll come back with shots. Devin tends to lead. In his early careers, he had a little more getting a lot of those guys out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because I went to his fight at the MGM, at MGM here in DC, in the Maryland, and man, he got that guy up out of there. So, I can see Devin still being relevant with his style, and just the fact that some of the risks, like boxing is one thing, having a style, but the attempt to go to Australia and capture the undisputed title is worthy of praise. And to dominate, he dominated this opponent with a hell of a boxing performance. His fight wasn't born, in my opinion, as a boxer. I know in my eyes, I'm looking from boxing with boxing eyes. So I'm watching the defense counter punching, jab, and the jab was so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen that jab like that in a long time, consistently for 12 rounds. So, but I'm looking at it from different eyes.
Yeah.
We were tuned in, but we were tuned in. We were tuned in to that fight. Not just me. It was some people that were not boxing fans who tuned in to see someone break history. You know what I'm saying, or create new history by being undisputed. You understand what I'm saying, Sean? The undisputed title is the history that was made. And to dominate in such form and fashion. I still think Devin is relevant and will be relevant for a nice while. I don't think he's the better of the 135s, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And in my opinion, I don't think the best of in 135 is at 135.
At 135.
That's just my opinion. I don't think the best at 135 is at 135. The best 135 is right now 130. That's just my opinion,
Yeah, man. That's gonna be interesting though, man. We'll see. I want to see how his career play out because that's just something I'm worried about,
Yeah, they know how to make themselves relevant. They know how to stay in front of the camera. They know how they have a excellent a PR team. Who that's one factor that those lot of those guys you named didn't have. I agree. People do want to see knockouts. They do. I agree with what this guy said on here.
Yeah, I'm looking.
It's at the end of the day, people want to see knockouts and exciting fights. I love Floyd to death. Yeah, great topic. Great analogy. That's an excellent example. But for Devin, they have a PR team that's relevant. You know what I'm saying? That's keeping them on different networks. Look at this. What we talking about it for? We watched his father get on about 5 different podcasts and different TV shows. The publicist is keeping him relevant and keeping his, keeping his brand alive.
But see, that's one thing that I did want to get to.
Okay.
But Bill becoming a bigger star than Devin. We see Bill more than Devin.
But Bill is still the face for Devin.
Yeah, but
Bill's going to keep him relevant. Bill,
but that's what I'm saying. As far as them other ones, Floyd, Roy, all the other gifted gab guys, they were the face. They were the ones out there making their stance. They were saying what they, Broner. You know what I mean? And
the balls. What's the guys
playing that role?
The basketball player father. He was more the face for the What's the balls? What's the name? Yeah. Ball. He was the face for. He was the face for.
They tried to blackball him.
They tried to blackball him, but every last one of his children made the NBA because of this man's relevance. You understand what I'm saying? They all made it because of his relevance. Same thing applies with Bill Haney. The same thing applies. He's making his son making him relevant because he's constantly on the news. He's constantly in the media's presence. He's a representation of him. No different than the president having a secretary of what is it? The secretary, press secretary at all. You know, so it's the same situation. The president still's going to be relevant because she's speaking
come out and say something. President come out and be like,
too. Yeah. Devin get on there. Devin get on social media.
I like this run. I like this run right after the win, but I haven't heard much from him since. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He taking a break. I
want to see more. I just want to see more of him raising his star. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to get out here and push for that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just sit back and say I'm a good boxer, because you are a good boxer, but like you gotta get out there and like people already saying like his style and it's like this. It's like, come on, man, you gotta have one of those qualities to me, man.
Yeah. But it's an opposition going on right now, and it's the battle of the social media presence going on right now, if you can agree with that. So if you won 3 titles, at first the argument was you don't have the right belt. They mailed you your belt. You understand what I'm saying? They mailed you your belt. These are arguments that these 2 fighters between Tank and him and other fighters having between that 135. They mailed you the belt. You're not a real champion. You're not this and that. So now that you got the titles, now that he got the real belts, right? Now those belts are irrelevant. How the hell are you going to make undisputed champion irrelevant, man? How could you do that? See, this is the battle of the PR war. It's a PR war going on in the 135 weight class. You got some great guys that understand that I have to be the number 1 commodity. Okay, I'm undisputed, but Floyd and the TMT team, you know what I'm saying? The money team is stating that, man, Tank is the face of 135, which I agree, because Tank is a bigger drawer in numbers, right? But still, the undisputed is the guy to beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's the guy to
that's
beat.
how it was.
But that's
But
how the
now,
game changed. It, like you said, Sean.
you gotta look at like I like to equate things with other genres as well. Like look at music now, right?
Yeah,
You know, back in the days, somebody used to have about 4, 5, 6 albums before they get to be a legend.
that's true.
Before people would classify them as a legend.
That's true.
Nowadays, people drop 2 mixtapes and he's a legend.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And I heard that discussion. I just heard what's the guy named the manager for a game? The guy that always starred and shit all the time.
Whack 100.
He was just talking about that that was the argument with him and Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, about Nipsey. Yeah, because he said Nipsey not a legend.
Yeah.
I'm much respect, rest in peace, Nip. You know, much love, Nip. But I agree.
Right, but I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with boxing too. I agree with the boxing too. But come on now, undisputed is automatically put you in the legendary category if he defended multiple times, which will put him above it. That's why I say I wouldn't trip about. You can't blackball that. You know what I'm saying? You can in the era if you don't have a PR. You know, Winky and them didn't have those things back in the days, PRs and social media to where they can make themselves relevant. Even Andrea don't have a vicious PR just like Devin does. You understand what I'm saying? And his budget, he don't have the same amount of money to make himself relevant and spend money on marketing and things of that nature. So Devin's going to always be relevant because he knows how to make himself relevant. That's why I say you can't.
His girl know how Instagram works. So
exactly. They know how to work this system, man. So the days change where you can't now. Boxing can blackball you if you don't have a market to. If you're not in that field of understanding that you got to be on social media, you have to do things different to stay relevant in the game because that's just the way this business is. It's entertainment, entertaining the people, not just in the boxing ring, but outside the boxing ring, which is very important for those young fighters out there. Remember that you have to be able to entertain in and out of the ring responsibly. So what's up next, man? What's up?
I want to ask this. So, piggybacking on what we were just talking about, do the best really have to fight the best in this era in order to cement legacy? Is that still a thing? You think that's still a thing that the best has to fight the best, or is it all about the money and who gained the most money and who has the most following or who sold the most tickets or who, you know what I mean? Is it still just about the best fighting the best?
I think the post Floyd Mayweather era has the potential of producing that, you know. Floyd fought the best. I don't care what y'all say. Floyd fought so many world champions that I know personally that is Hall of Famers. He got probably all them guys that was at. I saw about 5 people he fought at the Hall of Fame presentation.
How many?
It was about 5 at the presentation. This past one that just went by. So he did fight the best. So he just out strategized the best and made him look bad. That's just how good he was. Yeah. And he always had an advantage by staying away from drugs and alcohol. So when he fought the best, he was always on his best behavior. Mm-hmm. You understand? So if the best should fight the best, if it's worth fighting the best, you understand? Once you get to a certain level, you have those options of picking and choosing the best that you think is the best. Yeah. Is this best for boxing? Is this best for the boxing community? And is it best for my family? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think they should still fight each other. I still think at the 135 weight class, I think all you guys should have fought each other. That's worthy of a legacy to have. That's Hall of Fame. Whoever comes out on top, if they fought each other, should be definitely a Hall of Fame at that
No,
135 weight class.
Stamped.
But I don't see it's already games being played at that weight class already at the 135 weight class. Games
Boxing
already
in
being
general.
played.
Boxing
It
in
is.
general.
They calling each other out, but now all of a sudden somebody can't make weight. Garcia is talking about, you know what I'm saying? They're questioning, can he make 135? They're questioning if Tank, who's going to be the A side and the B side? Who gives a damn? I'm sick of the A side, B side stuff, man.
So tired of it.
I'm tired of it, man. It's so irrelevant, man. It's so irrelevant now.
It's in the way. It's getting
Just
in the
get
way
rid of the whole idea. Just eliminate
got an
it.
ego. Everybody got an ego. You know, just nix it. It's prize fighting, man. Just fight for the prize. Like that's why I always did like, even though they had never agreed to it, I always did like the 60-40, 60 go to the winner, 40 go to the loser. You know what I mean? I always like that, you know, especially for like 50-50 fights where you got two A-side guys who can't agree. Okay, you think you're going to win? You get the 60 if you win. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
but
you know, what?
Yeah, it's just irrelevant now. I mean, the 135 play weight class has so much talent in it. It's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, look at the Leonard, the Four King era, the Leonard, Hagler, Hearns, and Duran era. You know, those guys are stamped forever.
Life, yeah.
They are stamped forever. That's one of the greatest weight classes that ever existed. They are stamped forever.
Got Mount Rushmore. You got the Four Kings sitting right across.
Exactly, but you in the 135 weight class have the potential of being one of the greatest weight classes ever too if they fight each other.
If they fight each other, they might wind up. Well, I don't know if Tank gonna wind up hitting 140. He's a little small.
Yeah, I think he shouldn't. I mean, by
I don't want
5'5",
him up 140. I don't want him up there. Tank stay at 135. It's just
5'5".
it's the height. It's the height because there's some taller guys up there who really could pop a jab and got power.
That's true. That's true.
know,
155. That's difficult. Definitely.
Yeah.
As a guy 5'4", 5'5", I wouldn't damn do not fight. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's why I say, man, he got to stay down there. So yeah, another thing happened the other day. Ryan was on the ESPYs. The other guy asked, you know, he said, I want to hear about Tank. What's gonna happen with Tank? He said, I'm gonna knock him out.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's one thing he's great at. He's great at that.
Yeah, he is. I like how he sell a fight and get things going.
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
Me too. Do you think it's gonna happen, or is he just clout chasing? You know, it's because you know he do anything for clout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he do. Yeah, he do.
So is he just doing this to stay in the attention, or you think he really want this fight? Because now you said he's saying he can't make the weight. I can't drop down. I got to fight at 140. He know Tank don't want to come up to 140, but Tank probably would. But he know he don't want to. That's why he vacated the belts at 140.
I think he should. I think this fight should happen, man. It's as a businessman, I see a million sales. I really see a million sales because of the factors in play. You know, you got Floyd Mayweather, you got Oscar De La Hoya, you got the 8.9 million Instagram followers, and you have Tank 3.2 million Instagram followers. If I'm getting the numbers correctly, because in the last one I did mention it. I think it should happen. If it don't, I feel bad for boxing. It's one of those another disappointments in boxing. That fight is relevant.
Where you think it should happen? 140 or 135?
135. Yeah, man, Tank should not bow to 140.
He shouldn't have to, man.
He shouldn't bow to 140. And Oscar shouldn't allow this fight not to go through because of small stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Man, you got to make 140. His ass need to be running the mile, making it down.
Yeah, catch a catch weight at 137 or
Nah,
something.
no catch weight.
I
Make him
wouldn't
make
even do that.
135. Nah, man, you fight for
Come
my
all the
title.
way.
You can fight for my title. You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah,
the
come
WA
all the way
title.
down. Come all the
Yeah.
way down.
Come on down. He got to come on down to 35.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
I'm
you
with
got to do that. That's just respectful for the sport. We arguing at 135, buddy. Make the weight.
you. Yeah, get this thing going at 135.
Yeah.
That's
Anybody
what's
on
up.
here? Anybody that's on here live? What do you want to see? Do you think Tank and Garcia would be worthy fight at 135 or 140? If you were Tank, would you take the fight at 140, or would you make him sweat down to 135? If you in the comments, leave a comment below and let us know what you feel.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, you got to drop 135. I'd be tempted. To say, you know what? Don't catch me at 130.
Nah, I make him fight one. I make the 135. I don't want to do anything extreme to not let this fight go through, because these jokers
Catch
will
me
look
at
for
130.
any reason to get out of a fight. They're gonna blame any reason, man. Make
What you think?
135, because I heard Oscar talking one. I think Oscar was saying something about 140 or something of that nature.
What you think about your boy Rolly? Saying he want to
Man,
fight
tell
Spence.
him.
He said he won Spence.
Nah, you know, Rolly is still worthy.
Crawford can't beat
To
him.
be honest with you, Rolly is worthy of opponent, but not for Spence. Hell no.
Nah,
You know,
man,
for anybody else.
He just he ain't
Man, that-
joking. But I think
Rolly-
this is all to set up him and Frank.
Yeah, I think Rolly should fight Cruz.
Nah, I mean I like him and Frank Martin.
No, they
Oh,
stay.
I love him and Cruz though.
Him and
I
Cruz
love
would
him and Cruz.
be a
Oh, that'd be a slobber knocker.
yeah, that'd be one of those.
That'd be a
Bing, off
slobber
the break.
But yeah, nah, I like him and Frank Martin. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Shoot, I don't mind Rolly. Rolly a big 135. Like
Yeah, he a big
I don't
one.
mind
That's
him.
why he's saying he can fight 47, because he know he really a 47 for real.
Yeah, I think for real, he could go up to 40 and fight. Him and Ryan might be out. Nah,
Yeah, that'd be a good. Yeah. I don't want him and Ryan won't fight because they kind of allies, man. That ain't happening, man. Just like Roy Jones said, I'm gonna listen to this. I'm gonna say it, play it right now and again.
Ryan
This
might-
is Roy Jones' words right here.
Well, my problem, here's the one thing I got. There's too many friends. There's too many friends. Because every guy's right that you fight to make a name for yourself, you call them your friends. And you can't fight. We didn't play that game. You understand me?
Hey, Roy Jones,
Hey.
too many friends, man. Can't
Hey,
make
I
the
don't
fight
know.
happen now because it's too
I
many
don't know.
friends, man.
I don't know. Garcia might be mad. He might be mad. Garcia might be mad that he lost that money.
Yeah, 913 Boxer says that 135 right now is wide open. 140 isn't as competitive. That's true, man. That 140 is a walkthrough right
stepping
now.
up. Now, I don't know, man. You got Prograis and Antoine Russell too. You got them up there.
Yeah.
Now-
They worthy. Yeah, they
Now
definitely worthy
Josh
of opponents.
Taylor down the top with Josh Taylor is a little light, but then you got all the 135s that's about to step up. So it's
Yeah,
going
you
it's
do have
going
some
140
140s.
about to get
You got Anthony Peterson up in there, who they all afraid
and-
of.
And you got
Anthony
Brown
Peterson.
on the comeback. We see how that work out. You see that press conference?
The one with him complaining about Al Heyman and all that.
You see the
Yeah.
walk off, and then the next day he came back and did another one.
Yeah,
whatever.
you know, one thing that you have to respect about Adrian Broner, he knows how to add controversial to get people to pay attention to his brand.
Yeah.
I think that was the case. That's why he was able to make a lot of money at a young age, because he has that gift to make himself relevant to the marketplace.
Yeah.
So you know
true.
that's what that was. That's just
You
like
see
to
how-
make you all pay attention to him and be ready to buy his tickets, because you know it's a feud between if he got a feud with Floyd or Al Heyman, which I don't really think he really do, and he knows what he's doing. That's
I think
my
he just felt
opinion.
some type of way.
Plus, he
felt
got some
some type
good
of way.
dudes on his team. He got some good guys on the team. Shout out to my man Gerald Tucker, one of them fight guys who used to fight with me back in the days, man. Good brother, man, and he's on the team, and I know, he's keeping Adrian level headed. You know what I'm saying, and
Yeah,
keeping them right. You know what I'm saying, and
I
plus,
hope so.
Gerald is of the money. He's Floyd's trained as well, so it's no real issues going on between Floyd and Adrian or Al Heyman. This is just, in my opinion, it's just Adrian staying relevant in the marketplace.
You see, he offered one of the reporters to come to the gym. He said, "Come to the gym and try to go one round with me." see how old I am then, because the guy asked. He said, "How much you got left, or what you doing this for? Do you think you're gonna be doing it long?" He said, "Come to the gym, see how much I got left." Now I'm gonna tell you,
that would aggravate you too, man. That aggravates fighters, especially at the age. He's not that old, but
yeah, he said, "Y'all act like I'm 65."
Yeah, that will aggravate you and upset you to hear something like that. You know what I'm saying?
They threw him some softball questions that he could have reacted to better than me.
Okay.
In my opinion. Because it was some questions that was just like, it was just like, come on, just say, I do this for the love of the sport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just something real simple, just a simple answer. It's like, I wonder where his media training was going on. As I was listening to him, I'm like, media training? Like,
let me tell you something. He off the camera, Adrian is a totally different person off that camera. Good dude, man. Off the camera, he's a totally different person, man.
He said that. He said that in an interview too.
I know guys that here in the DC area, many years and from I bear witness to hearing these stories about this man would pay for all the fighters to go to the nationals at the Headbangers Gym and things of that nature. That's stuff you don't hear on camera or on the interviews because that's not going to sell.
Yeah.
You understand? Positivity doesn't sell.
He don't promote that. He don't even promote it.
Yeah. But this is that's him off camera. You know what I'm saying?
He do that for the love. He don't do it for the cameras.
Good guy off camera, man. And not only that, he would. If somebody needs some bills paid or need help with things, you know what I'm saying? I've heard stories about this guy and the things that he would do for people, you know what I'm saying? So, that's why when I hear some of them things on camera, I know that's not him off the camera. You know what I'm saying? I know he's a totally different person. Good dude, meet him in person, show you respect. You know what I'm saying? May not know you, but it's going to treat you like a champion. If somebody else call you worthy of, you know what I'm saying, respect, he's going to show it. So that's what I got from that. So, but what do I know, man? I don't know what goes on behind closed doors with him, but I know what goes on in the boxing gym what have I been witness to on several occasions. So,
yeah. He attested to that. He said, man, ask anybody who know me outside and they'll tell you I'm a good dude.
He is, man. I got not one dude. I'm talking like 10, 15 dudes. Yeah. Always say good things about him off camera. So anything else we got going on?
All we rocking with, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, man, we had to get on a few topics. We got plenty more topics. We're gonna be doing these on a regular occasion now. I think it's best for us to go back live. You know what I'm saying? Where we can interact, man. We're getting ready for these fights coming up. These few of these pay-per-view bangers that's coming in the making down the road. We're gonna jump on those and do a fight party. We're gonna have guests as well soon. We're not really big on the guest thing. That's not our MO right now. We want to just cover the stories, but soon we will have guests on the program, a couple of champions, and go live, or just have them as on the show recording. Either way, we're gonna do it. But till the next time, man, please hit the like and subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Please share this content. Also, we have the Facebook, the Second Wind Boxing Media. On Instagram, we at the Second Wind Boxing Media. So please
everything,
join
everything.
us on that as well. We trying to get these numbers up, trying to reach 1,000 followers. You know what I'm saying? We got to get there. We've been in this doing this for about 2 months.
Yeah, about 2
We
months
got
now.
400 Facebook followers.
Hey, thanks,
We
bro.
at about 200.
913.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Good
913
talk.
Boxer.
Good talk.
Appreciate you, champ. Yes, indeed, brother. Thank you, man. But we will be. Please subscribe, like, hit the Second Win Boxing Media on Instagram. We need to get these numbers up, get this content out, because we chasing numbers. We are chasing numbers, and we're trying to get this information to you because we have access to all the champs if necessary. We will get it done. But
Some way.
to the next
Some way,
time,
somehow.
ladies and gentlemen, the Second Win Boxing Media. Peace.